Hi, everybody. My name is Lori H. Schwartz from Storytech, and I am a proud partner of the NAB Show 2024, bringing you the show floor tours this year again. And I'm so excited to talk to you about them, including our new workflow tour. And here to tell you all about it is our tour guide, the fabulous Danny Beller-Palukas. And Danny is part of her own consulting company, which she launched recently, the Beller-Palukas Consulting, and she does so much in the virtual production space. She's been a long-time executive in all of the things that are related to the future of filmmaking, really, visual effects, virtual production. Ask her anything you want, but more importantly, she's going to be guiding you on the show floor. And here she is to tell us all about what's going to be happening on the NAB show floor 2024. Hello, Danny.
Hey, how are you?
Now, I know this is the first year that you're doing tours for NAB, but it is not your first year going to NAB, nor is it your first year really talking and teaching and sharing everything that you know about virtual production and workflows and sort of the future of how content is going to be created. So tell us what you're excited about this year for NAB.
I think I'm super excited to see what the game engines are doing. There was a recent announcement yesterday talking about how Disney and Epic are starting to do content together for Fortnite. And I think that's going to feed into, now you've got another media mogul in that game engine space. I think that's going to make a huge difference. Last year at NAB, virtual production was super popular. There were stages that were talking about it, but I feel like we were in this place where VP in the last few years has certainly been growing and growing and growing. And then we hit the strikes last year and everybody sort of reassessed. So I think VP is in this moment of readjustment, and I'm excited about that with this year's NAB. I want to talk about how are things changing? What do we think that future looks like? How things like cloud content are going to be a huge part of how do we do it faster, cheaper, better? And that's, I think, the thing that I'm really excited about talking about at NAB as we look at how these vendors are adapting to what this new world is.
Why do you think it's so important? Because I know a lot of what you've done in your various roles, and you've worked at a large variety of different production companies and studios. Why do you think it's so important for filmmakers, content creators, even the technologists to really understand what's happening? Because that's really what the show floor tours are about, is educating everybody about what's happening. What have you seen change when you deliver on the potential of all this to people?
I think one of the things I love talking about is being in a studio and igniting the spark of creativity. I think there's a point where we discover a thing we weren't aware of before, and we get that opportunity to see how it could fit into our new worlds. So that's what I think I'm excited to see happen at NEB and on this tour. As we go to talk to people, we're going to talk about what their technology is doing. You're going to recognize how that fits in your larger picture. And that combination is what's going to spark. Not to mention, you're on a tour with other people in the space. We're talking about creative technology. We're talking about what their studios. It is that ingenuity together where we will also, every tour will not be the same. We'll get the opportunity to see something a little different as we talk to the people in our space and we grow the things we're really excited about.
And what do you think the benefit is of being on a tour with a group of people who are all interested and excited about what's happening in this space?
I think that's the secret to these sessions. It's 15 people on a tour who have all shown up because they want to learn about new workflows. So now you've got this space where you have people from studios, from game engine companies, from technology vendors, and they're there to learn about what we're doing, which means we're going to talk together. The secret to these tours, and I think what makes them unique, is the opportunity to spend a significant amount of time with those in the industry who are doing it, led by someone who, like, not only have I spent my time in VP and really enjoyed it, but I'm also going to get the opportunity on these tours. We're going to talk to all kinds of people over the course of all of these tours in a couple of days. We're going to chat with folks at NAB. We're going to spark conversations that will lead us, I hope, to drink somewhere later on where we can continue these conversations. I think that's the secret to taking this tour is, you know, when I go to a new city, sometimes what I want to do is take a walking tour of the city to see the places where I want to go back. And this is that opportunity. It's the opportunity to see the places, to have a curated tour of where we're going. And then you have NAB as well to go back and have conversations that are more in depth. I think it's just that spark to start us off.
God, I love that. That is such a great point. And I love also that, you never know what's going to happen. Like every tour group is different. These tours are being offered twice a day, starting on Sunday when the floor opens and through Wednesday as well. And specifically, we called this tour New Workflows because there is a big change happening in virtual production right now. Can you hint to us what some of the things are that we might see on the floor? Or what are some of these big changes coming that we need to all learn about?
I think some of the changes that are coming, I mean, SMPTE 2110 has been a thing for a period of time, and we're starting to see it developed and used in more spaces. The ability to do what we do over network cables instead of 14 different kinds of audio cables and video cables is going to absolutely revolutionize the industry. It's going to allow us to have a smaller footprint. It's going to give us higher data speeds. Those things are going to change the way we think about virtual production and where it can be done. I also think the industry is seeing a shift right now. We're talking about smaller spaces with smaller screens, which means we need to have a higher pixel pitch. We need to be able to get closer. So I think that is a big change. Virtual production is in a moment where we are considering how does it fit in the bigger picture. And I think part of how it fits in the bigger picture is by figuring out ways to make it so that it can be used in smaller spaces for more purposes. And that's what we're going to talk about a lot.
That's great. And also coming up with models, more distinctive models, so that if you have a bigger budget and you have bigger needs, there's one solution. But if you're, just an independent filmmaker and, you don't have all those resources, there's still other solutions. And so it's really deciding what is the right workflow for you.
Noah had a great quote, an article the other day where he said they built a LED wall in his.
Noah,
sorry.
Yeah, just so
there gets a point where you know these people, and yeah.
but that is he said that is the point of having someone like Danny, is that you actually know who all the influencers are in the virtual production space, and you're going to tell people about it on the tour, because that's the point. We want to connect professionals with people who want to understand the space and want to learn who all the influencers are. So you actually literally just demonstrated why you're being the guide for this tour. All right, tell us
right?
Noah
said. They built an LED wall basically in their living room, right? To go figure out what they could do. Talk about a small space. He's reconfigured it. He's put the ability to do motion capture there. Those small spaces are possible. It's also incredible what's happening in the big spaces, like Masters of the Air, which just came out, which I worked on with Lux Machina, super excited about. Also shows the use of virtual production for a different creative choice. Part of the choice on that project was they wanted the cast to feel like they were together in a space, and when a plane went by, they all saw it together. So VP has a lot of different uses. It really, honestly, is not all the Mandalorian. And I think that's exciting. Currently, we're doing a fellowship in Scotland with Final Pixel Academy, and we're bringing in these young filmmakers, lots of people with documentary experience. And it's really, again, I get excited by the ideas people bring in and how they want to use this tech. I have my own ideas of how we should use it, but I truly get excited talking to people about what they think, because I think that's where, I'm an old Imagineer. So Imagineers, it is just inherent to our nature to go, that's really cool. What if we did this? And I can't wait to get to NAB and have a moment to go back and sit in those broadcast roots.
Awesome. Well, again, ladies and gentlemen, you can book the tours on the NAB show site when you're doing your registration. And Danny, of course, will be leading the New Workflow tours. They are offered twice a day from Sunday through Wednesday. And we're definitely going to be having an exciting time. I'm so happy to have you. Thank you so much, Danny. And we'll be seeing you all hopefully in April at the LVCC on the NAB show floor 2024. Thanks, everybody.